Can you get someone back by breaking no contact to use 3% man?
So I understand this question. What happens is a guy got rejected, got dumped, went to the internet, started searching for how to get an ex back, starts reading the book 10, 15 times, whatever. And he's like, my game is tight now. I got it. I can get her back. I'm going to use Corey's book to get my ex back. And so, what typically where these guys are in the process is it's because women typically 75% of the time do the dumping. They'll oftentimes make things so miserable for the guy, hoping the guy will break up with her. And then when he doesn't, then she breaks up with him. So I think it's like 75% of the time women file for divorce. And so most of the time, guys that are in this situation, they got dumped. They didn't want to be dumped. They probably got friend zoned and they hung around for a while trying to be a friend, trying to get another chance, and she's not having it. And then they walk away because typically she starts dating. Maybe she's even starting to date other guys now. Maybe she met somebody new. Maybe one of her coworkers was sweet on her and she was sweet on him, and so she kind of lined the new replacement up before monkey branching from one dude to the next. And so in these situations, the guy's been trying to get back together with her and she's not having it. And so the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. So at that point, you imagine yourself, you're at the negotiating table. You want to continue to date and sleep with her and have romance, but she's like, I only want friendship. I only think of you as a friend because by that point, her basically her pussy is drier than a bucket of sand. She's not turned on, doesn't want to be with him, ain't feeling it. He really super duper likes her and wants another chance, but emotionally, she ain't feeling it. She's no longer interested. And so the thing that you do and the thing that I teach that I talk about in Seven Principles to Get an Ex Back is you need to focus on yourself, learning the book, meeting and dating other women, and improving your skills, actually applying what's in the book with new women so you can see that it works. And when you see that it works, that grows your confidence. And you tell your ex, you say, hey, I'm not interested in being friends only. That's not what I signed up for. And so I'm going to move on with my life. I wish you all the best. I don't want to hear from you unless you're interested in working things out. If you change your mind, I'd love to hear from you. It'd be great. But if not, then hey, wish you all the best. But I don't want to hear from you. I'm not interested in anything platonic. And sometimes the women will stay in touch and still call and want to hang out. And then the guy's trying to get her back to dating and relationships. And because I had this experience with one of my girlfriends I wrote about in here. And you have to cut her off. You have to say, look, I told you I'm not interested in being friends. I'm not interested in something platonic. But if you change your mind, get in touch. And then you walk away. And so this guy is thinking about breaking no contact because he's figuring, hey, I got 3% man now. I can get her back. It's you got to think of it from the perspective of if she unilaterally ended your relationship, then it's up to her to fix it. She has to earn another chance with you, not the other way around. You wanted to work things out. You wanted to stay together. She said no. And so therefore, you walk away from the negotiating table because a deal is not possible. And so from a leverage perspective, again, the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. Donald Trump was the master of that. He wrote a book, The Art of the Deal, and it works. That is the right way to negotiate. And if she's only interested in something platonic because her pussy's drier than a bucket of sand or drier than a Sahara desert, the only way you will ever speak to her again is if she reaches out. And then so say she does reach out a few months later. Then you invite her over to make dinner together. You don't go to coffee. You don't go to lunch because women typically will do coffee or lunch, things in the day, so no seduction can happen and there's other people around and you're doing things on her terms. Remember, if she has to earn another chance with you, then I'm not driving to coffee. I'm not coming over to pick her up and take her to an expensive dinner or go over to her house to talk. I'm not interested in that. But if you'd like to see me, The furthest distance, and you're not going to say this, but the furthest distance you're going to be willing to travel to see her is the distance that it takes to go from wherever you are in your house to your front door to let her in when she comes over for dinner. And so, like I talk about in Seven Principles in Get an X back, women are going to test you. They're going to test you to see if they can get you to cave. And they'll come up with 100 different ways to try to get you to cave and agree to be friends. That's why they do the coffee thing. Or they say, well, I'll come over during the day and we'll do lunch together. It's like, no. I have objections. A good one is, hey, it's been a long week, just in the mood to hang at my place. If you don't want to come over and make dinner together, then give me a call in a couple of weeks, and maybe I'll be up for meeting you out then. And say she does call you in a couple of weeks, you're still gonna be like, it's been real long, long week. Work's been crazy. It's crazy. Work's crazy. Women use it all the time, and you're just like, I just want to hang. If you don't want to come over and make dinner, give me a call, and maybe I'll be up for it in a couple of weeks. So you're not gonna agree to do anything other than go to your front door and let her in when she comes over. Because women know that if they're making dinner plans in the evening at your place on a Friday night or a Saturday night or during the week or whatever, sex is on the table. And if she can get you to agree to something platonic like lunch or coffee or hanging out with her friends or, hey, my girlfriends and I are going to the club. Why don't you and your friends come over? It's like, nope, you don't do any of that shit. Because seduction happens when it's you and her. The process of seduction, I wrote about this in 3% Man, is to get closer and closer to a woman until ultimately you end up inside of her. And if you'd agree to go outside your house, to go to her, or do something during the day, you are giving her the leverage. And if you have the attitude that she's got to earn another chance with you, then you're like, hey, I'm willing to hear her out. If she wants to come over and make dinner, that'd be wonderful. I would love that. But if she doesn't want to do that, it's like you're not going to agree to it. And if she does agree to come over for dinner, and especially if she goes, oh, I just want you to know that I'm not sleeping with you tonight, or I'm not, even if she comes in the front door, hey, I just want you to know I'm not having sex with you tonight. When a woman says I'm not having sex with you tonight, what it means is I'm planning on having sex with you as long as you don't talk me out of it. And then you spend time hanging out, having fun while you're hanging out. And at the end of the day, because she contacted him, she's now pursuing him, and he's got the leverage. Then what I say, and I discuss in 7 Principles Get an X Back, is as long, which is an article and video on my website, as long as she comes over 3 consecutive dates in a row. Another thing is she's got to do all the pursuing. She's got to do all the calling, all the texting. You're not reaching out. You're not pursuing her, because a lot of guys make the mistake when that happens. A girl comes over, they hook up, and the guy goes, okay, I'm going to call her and try to make a date once a week. And what happens is he starts doing all the pursuing again. In 3 to 4 weeks, he gets the same thing. I'm confused. I'm not sure. I can't make up my mind right now. I don't know what I want. You get nonsense like that. That's why it's super important that you stick to your guns and you don't compromise. And when she sees that you're not willing to wilt, one of two things will happen. She'll either come over and make dinner together with you and you'll hook up, or she will stop contacting you and you will never hear from her again. That's how you handle it. That's the most effective way. Because if she wants another chance, she's got to earn it. She does all the calling, all the texting. You don't bring up getting back together. You don't try to talk her into it. You just casually date and hook up when she reaches out. And if you're going to get exclusive again, she's got to bring it up. It's got to be her idea. That's the most effective way. Even Jocko Willink has a video where he explains the same thing. And he literally says almost word for word things I've said in other videos. So I'm happy about that, because Jocko is an alpha and he helps a lot of dudes, and I'm glad that he knows these things, because he's teaching men the right principles. Because when there's a lot of alphas in the world and they're in charge, society is safe. When you have a lot of beta males, especially beta males that have weak relationships or weak within themselves, society becomes very dangerous.
So, what if she does propose that she wants to start the relationship again, but you're not ready?
Just say, hey, I'm willing to give you another shot. to make it right. At the end of the day, you were the one that ended it.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were confused. You said you needed space. I gave you the space. And now here you are, because who could walk away from this sexy body? You know you love me.
That's fair.
Love is playful and fun.
It is.
Then it's her idea. It's her idea to contact you. She agreed to come over. She knows it's in the evening. She knows that the Indoor Olympics are on the table. And that's why a woman who is not serious about getting back together and her feelings have not returned fully will try to see if you'll compromise and agree to go to lunch or coffee or talk. Talk on the phone. None of that. You want to see me? Come on over. Be great. No coffee. Just, again, again, Seven Principles Get an Ex Back. It's got all this stuff laid out. It's got all the objections and how you handle them. You have to stick to your guns because it's negotiation. And if you display weakness, you lose. Because she wants to make sure you're worthy and you're strong enough to stand up to her and say no.
So what if this question was actually asked by a woman? Can you get someone back by breaking no contact to use 3% man?
That's a question from a dude. I'm certain of it.
A masculine woman.
A woman is not going to be trying to use 3% man to get a boyfriend back. Especially if she's assuming the masculine role. But she may read it, and then maybe she did the breaking up. She'll reach out. Or you're saying that the guy dumped her and she's figuring she's going to use 3% man on him.
Mm-hmm.
If he's an effeminate man, it might work. But like I said, I can tell by that question because I've had this question countless times. I've seen it in countless emails.
It's a good question.
It's a dude.
Yeah.
It's a dude.
It's a good question, and you answered it really well.